guys, this is Connor at Conquest HP. You may be wondering why I am sitting on top of a foam roller on a bench. That's because this is by far my favorite way to release the hamstrings with a foam roller. So if you do have tight hamstrings and you do want to roll them out just to try to relax them, or it feels good, or whatever your reason for doing that is, it can be really hard to do it on the floor. It's hard to get good pressure into the hamstring just by applying pressure on the floor. You don't have good leverage in that position. It's tough to hold the positions. So a much better option is to put your foam roller or lacrosse ball or tennis ball or whatever you're using on top of a relatively sturdy chair, or like a weight bench is perfect for this, but like a sturdy wooden dining room chair works really well too. So if I put the foam roller on top, directly on top, and then what I'm going to do is sit down on top of it, especially if you want to work the higher hamstrings, like the top half of the hamstrings, you're going to love this. It's beautiful. So what I'm going to do is sit down on top of it, almost like my sit bones and my butt are on top of the roller. So I'm starting really high. The roller is cutting across my thigh right now. And what I'm going to do is slowly rock back and forth and kind of turn in a little bit, rock back and forth, because don't forget you have 3 heads to the hamstrings. You want to work the inside, the middle, and the outside of the thigh as you're working those hammies. So I'm going to roll back and forth there, roll to the outside. Now if all those areas feel fine, work your way down. So I'm just going to work a couple inches lower, back and forth. Okay, feels good, back and forth. If I find a really nasty spot, I'm going to stick to that spot, and instead of going up and down, which will still work over time, what I'm going to do is roll across. So I'm trying to kind of roll my thigh as though it's a rolling pin rolling on top of this foam roller. That's saying a lot of rolling all at once. All right, so I'm just going to roll back and forth like this, slow and smooth. If you find one very specific spot that's tight, then you're going to really want to focus on that spot. So then I still might move just a little bit, but I'm going really slow and just keeping the tension on that spot. As a general rule of thumb, make sure that you can breathe while you're doing all of this. If you get to a really tight spot, and I see it all the time, is the only reason I mention this. If you get to a really tight spot and you go and you're breathing as though you're about to die, that's sending the exact opposite message to your nervous system. You're just telling your nervous system, hey man, keep that hamstring as tight as possible, because there's pressure on it and it feels like we're going to die because we can't breathe that. So whatever pressure you use, make sure that you're mitigating it enough so I can push down on the roller to lighten up that pressure a little bit so that I can still carry on a conversation and breathe. And preferably breathe deeply. So when I find that rough spot, make it really obnoxious, annoy anyone in the room. If it's a gym, make people look at you. But that's by far the best way to roll the hamstring. You can work all the way down to the knee doing this, but the bench in this position is just going to give you way more leverage. Make sure you're sitting up straight while you do it, and enjoy that horrendous pressure. If you really want an extra release, then you can kind of sit on top of the roller, get pressure on that really that tight spot, and then slowly kick the knee straight and then pull it back in. And that'll be a special kind of torture, but a couple reps like that, like 5 to 10 reps, nice and slow, and you're going to feel a pretty profound release, I would imagine. So happy rolling. Leave me your comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.